Hello and welcome back to another tutorial. This one is for IPI Studio, IPI Mocap Studio. It's basically motion capture software that can be used with the Microsoft Kinect, either the Kinect for Windows or the old Kinect for the Xbox 360. You can also use it for PS3Is and a couple other, I think it's Opti something, which is just another webcam. There's a couple different ones that you can go search on Google or Amazon. But this software itself is actually on Steam now, and it's pretty good software. Basically, all you do is use your Kinect, hook it up to your computer, and you're going to use that for Makerless mocap, and it'll just record you, or the motion data actually, and from there you import it into here, mix it with this character rig, which is what this program does, and then you already have motion captured data that is all rigged and set to export to whatever 3D program you're using, 3ds Max, iClone, Movie Storm, I think it is, I don't remember, or MMD, although if you're going to use Make a Dance with this, you have to convert the BVH file, which is what this outputs, which is, it's pretty much the standard file type, BVH, FBX, and what else is the DAE, SMD, if you're gonna do like games or Half-Life 2 mods or Gary's mods and stuff like that, or use it in what is that? Source 2 Studio, you can also do that. So it's pretty versatile in that you can export to a lot of different file types using a lot of different programs to either make games or movies with motion capture. So this is going to be, I guess, a quick tutorial of how I do my stuff. So once you open up IPI Mocap Studio, you want to hit New, and wherever you saved your recordings to, just click on one and open it, which I already opened this. I have not let it, whatever you track yet. So once you open it, you'll have this cloud and you'll have this character here. Now you want to go to the actor and set it to what you are, male, female, although it really doesn't matter. You just basically want to make sure the height is about the right size, or at least closest to the right size. Which sometimes the height of the motion data is not like your real height. It's just how close or how far away you are to the camera. So that helps. Fix your body mass, bust waist. You really want to get into that. So you can use more than one camera, which it depends on how you set that up. Right now in this version, the dual camera tracking is not really that great. It's kind of annoying to configure, but they're working on updates for that. But basically, once you do that, typically you want to start in T-pose, but you do not have to. And I'm pretty lazy, so I do not start in T-pose. Because of this, that you can just go to here, your inverse kinematics, IK, click on the hands and whatnot, and just basically move this around like you would a regular 3D model. And just put it into position, rough position, and then go to tracking and hit refit pose. And what this is going to do is calculate, where this rig is and where the motion data cloud is. And there we go. That's a rough alignment of the rig and the data. So then we want to go back to scene, the scene tab, and hit recenter coordinate system on character. Now you don't have to do that, but that is really good because that centers your 000 XYZ axis, so that when you export this, if you don't hit that, wherever your motion starts, like it was previously around here, wherever your motion starts will be where it starts in whatever program you have. So if you wanted to, say, combine motions, like this motion and the next motion, you want to make sure that everything is recentered on the coordinate position. So this motion is going to be in Gunmetal Black episode 24, the one I'm doing after the one I'm working on, which is episode 1. And then, yes, I'm skipping around. I'm going from 1 to 24 just because 24 episodes would take 2 years to do. So, yeah. Anyways, once you've got this done, you can basically begin tracking forward. This is going to take some time, depending on your CPU, and of course it's going to take even longer since I'm recording. I'm not going to record the whole thing, but you just let it track, and it will continue to calculate the next frame of where to move the bone rig. And like I said, since I'm recording this, it'll be very slow. But after that, where is it? We have this post-process jitter. So once this does its full recording, we're going to use post-process jitter, which will do the same thing, because in a minute I'll show you when I get back to this. But right now I'm going to cut here because this is probably going to take like an hour to do. Okay, here we are. The tracking, well, rough tracking is finished, so I'll play it. And as you can see, it is very jittery, very not smooth, very kind of terrible. Now, this is actually going to be an action sequence. The character here has another character standing next to her, which is not done yet. Although, with IPISOFT, you can actually do, I think, up to like 2 or 3 people that it can track if you have 2 cameras. But I didn't do that yet because sometimes the motion data gets really, really messy, especially if you do things like, in this particular movement, this character is going to put their arm around, basically grab the other character, and then jump off a cliff. Now this is going to take a lot of cleaning up, but we can clean it up actually in IPISOFT before we export it. If we go to post-processing jitter removal, and you just move it back to frame 0 and hit apply once it's completely done. And from there it will go back over what was previously done, and it's kind of smooth out the motion. It won't get rid of all the jumpiness. There will still be some jumpiness and stuff, but it'll be a lot smoother. Then to clean it up, we'll have to go back into whatever program you're using. In my case, MMD. Go back into it and actually delete a lot of the motion data, which you can do the same thing in iClone, delete a lot of the nodes between frames, just to make it overall smoother, also to iron out exactly where, and also the main poses, because this is basically like a rough sketch. This is not going to be the final animation because it is very non-dynamic. You can see the poses are pretty not good. You know, this isn't like kind of a non-heroic pose, but later we'll be able to tweak that and make it so that these poses are really solid. And of course, once I do the other character, they'll be timed correctly for that other motion data that I have to do. So basically, I will wait until this is finished and then show you how to export this and how to import it into a Japanese program called Live App Animation, which is free, which can actually convert a lot of the motion data from this and other programs into other types of motion data. And it's really simple. You don't have to retarget anything or change the XYZ axis or anything, but I'll do that next, and I shall cut it here. it's finished doing the post-process jitter removal, which basically means it is a lot smoother. The other thing that I have fixed in there is the timing, because, yeah, it looks a lot smoother. There's some things that are, I could spend a bit of time tweaking with this, like that leg is not really good. If I wanted to, you can go back and track backwards, but I don't need to do that because I can do that manually later on. So right now I want to export it, and basically in order to do that, you have to load, open. There we go. Alright, you have to basically have a bone structure for your characters. Now, these are bone structures that I've made. I think there is, when you first install this, there's like a default character rig, because if you try to export it without doing this import target character, your motion data won't have any bones mapped associated with it, which is what all this is. These are bone maps. So I got my target characters from, where did I get it? From DAZ 3D, which is another free 3D program, which I'll probably do. Yeah, I'll probably do a tutorial on that, on making some characters from scratch with that. But basically, you can export from that, or like I said, I'm pretty sure they have a base tutorial. Not base tutorial, base import character for your bones and stuff, or you could actually map them yourself, just by going through here, hip and pelvis, lower spine, all that stuff. So from there, once you hit this, use whatever target character you're going to, or their default character, which should work in most programs like 3ds Max and TrueSpace and DAZ and iClone, and all those things should be good. You'd be able to use that easily enough. I export general, but as you can see here, everything is here that you would need. And if you do general, you can pretty much, anything that uses all these BDH, FEX, these file types, Motion Builder, Endorphin, Blender, iClone. I export to BDH since it's kind of standard stuff. So we're going to export to MMD. This is just my file system. You can set it up any ways that you want to. And I go grab to jump off. Yes, I already made it, yes. Okay. Now you just save it, and it's pretty much done for this step. Once this finishes saving. And from there, I will open up a live animation, and I'll put a link below to all this stuff so you can get it. Live animation is free, so you don't have to worry about that. But basically, that's all you really need to do with IPI Mocap Studio. It's pretty simple, and you can do a lot of animations this way that are, I wouldn't say these are finished, because you're still going to have to go into them and do a lot of cleanup work, which is what I'll show next. So I will cut onto stuff in here if you wanted to, and then export it into other programs in order to get started with this. Which basically, the only reason why we're using this program is to convert the BDH files to BMD, which are locally motion data files, which you can only use with Miku Dance, or I think, what is the other one? Miku something capture effect. The other one that nobody really uses, which is actually better than MMD. So basically, in order to get this, they have built-in avatars. I just use this Johnny, which is the first one. The other ones, I don't know, might have different bone structures slightly. So this is really simple. You don't have to remap anything. You just import your BDH file. Find it. Go to my it always imports like this because I guess that's X and Y or Z, one of them is reversed. So in order to fix that, it's really simple. Animation Editor, which you go to Window, Animation Editor, if you don't have this pop up immediately. Window Animation Editor, and you want to go to Offset, and go to Body Direction, and slide it 180 degrees till the character is facing you. And also, if you look at it, here we are, where the feet are not exactly touching the ground plane, so you want to move that down until they are. And this actually is pretty good because it has joints which detect the ground plane, so the inverse kinematics work pretty well, and it'll retarget all that motion data without you having to go in there manually and make sure all the hips and legs and things are aligned. So once you have rotated 180 degrees and moved the y-axis down so the feet are touching flat on the ground, and you want to hit these things that look like keys. That basically locks this offset into place for the whole duration of the animation. So you can play it now. And yes, it's still kind of not 100%, but we can fix that later in MMD when we go to make the final animation. So now we want to export this. Just File, Export, VMD. Now it does have these other things in case you wanted to use FBX, or I don't even know what these programs are for, XSI. I don't know what that is. Camera motion, whatever. STL. But basically export this as a VMD. And I want to find my folder, all my stuff. There we go. And we go grab, do, jump, on. Save. Bam, done. And there we have it. This is now, the VMD file is now ready to go into MMD or any other Miku Dance type program that uses VMD files. Very simple, and there are a lot of ways to export, or convert rather, BBH to VMD. This is the simplest way. I've looked all around. You can't find anything else other than using this program basically. And like I said, I haven't really used this program for much else. You can actually render, you can actually do full animations in this if you wanted to. Import into, environments and models and do all that kind of stuff if I wanted to. I can import some model in here and just start animating it here. I haven't yet, since I'm used to the other program. But that's all there is to do here, so on to Miku Dance, and then I'll show you how to import the VMD we just created now and get to work basically turning that into an actual usable animation that doesn't look so janky like this. Staring off into space. There really isn't any animation that I added yet. Now, we're going to add in that VMD file to start animating Mako, and actually, you have to do some tweaking, because even though I have physics turned on, it is still slow. There we go. Much better. Should move right about there. Let me see what Red District Basic. Get started. Although there are tons of basic tutorials on this. A lot of people use Blender, a lot of people use... I tried to use items. Don't let you... Which means you have to have a PC or like a server or something. Because otherwise, in order to render something like this, first of all, you couldn't really even because of the way those programs are set up. It only seems like now that they're finally starting to use the graphics card to render, which is just doesn't make any sense. But anyways, we're gonna import this. Load motion data like this. Load in some pose data. It loads. Incredibly slow. Alright. Now these are just a whole bunch of poses I've made for hands, peace signs, fists, carrying things. Just gonna load in a relaxed hand. And then I'll change that. Select all and register, because that's how you do it in MD. So let's see what we got so far. One thing right off the bat I have to fix is this. Whatever center groove bone is kind of wonky. So we are going to find out where this is. Oh, that's the groove bone. Yep. No, we don't want that. We want the center bone. Whatever this is. Center. Yep. That'll do.